dear faculty members, Board of Education, and my fellow high school classmates. When it comes to school, what are the most important things that a teacher looks for? To me, I think their teachers would want them to succeed, especially after they graduate from school. But in order for students to get these good grades, they have to pay attention so they can get the necessary information so that they will succeed on their next exam and get the good grade that they deserve. But in order for students to pay attention, they need the necessary hours of sleep so that they can be refocused for the next day. To me, sleep is a key thought in everyone's day, whether it be morning, afternoon, or night. Every student wants enough sleep for the next day so that they can complete their assignments with no problem. After going through 3 schools in all my education years, I've experienced many different starting times in school. 9:15 elementary, 8:15 middle school, and now I'm required to be in school for 7:20 a.m. sharp. For having to go to school from 7:20 to 2:05 5 days a week makes you really exhausted. And all I think about is just for once, why can't school start later? If school started at a later time, then I feel that students will be able to complete their assignments for the next day, have plenty of more sleep, and people like myself wouldn't have to worry about their health from lack of sleep. My group and I believe that high school should start later in the day because it'll make an easier and healthier day in students' lives.
The teens today barely have any time to do their homework because of the starting time of school. Ashley Antonazzo, a junior at Pontbright High School, says school starts way too early. While talking to her, she says that due to the early start time, it's hard to have good grades. And a lot of research proves what she told us to be correct. If you look up research on how start time affects how kids do academically, you will find a lot of negative effects on the grades in the earlier start time. One article says that they found that delaying school start time by 1 hour from roughly 7:30 to 8:30 increases standardized test scores by at least 2 percentile points in math and 1 percentile point in reading. The effect is the largest for students with a below average test. Scores suggesting that later start times will narrow the gap in student achievement, which proves that the later starting time, the better kids will do in their classes. And the kids who do worse will eventually become the kids that do better in the class. School average will be increased and the kids will all be equal. The increase in grades will be different depending on the change in start time. If there is a 1 hour delay in start time, increased standardized test scores on both math and reading tests by roughly 3 percentile points. So a greater increase is expected with a bigger delay.
We all know that high schoolers have it tough in high school, sports, academics, and clubs. And then on top of that, homework after school. That has to be done after all of those things. But the younger kids don't have all these things to worry about. Yeah, they have homework, but it's not nearly as much as we do. Now all students need a lot more sleep than the younger kids. Here's a chart that has the ages of amount of sleep they need.
It's not behind you.
Okay. As you can see, what this chart doesn't show is the amount of sleep high schoolers get. It's not what they need. High schoolers get about 7 to 7.5 hours of sleep because all of those after-school activities and homework on top of that. As a kid, I always used to wake up earlier than most other kids. And then after that, I would feel amazing. Unlike other kids, they always need more sleep to feel better. This is because my body got used to waking up early.
Every person in this classroom cares about their health. Well, study shows that lack of sleep has a big effect on your health, and these facts show why. Study shows that in children and adolescents, hormones that promote growth are released during sleep. These hormones help build muscle mass as well as make repairs to cells and tissues. Sleep is vital to development during puberty. When you're deprived of sleep, your brain can function properly. If it continues long enough, it can lower your body's defense, putting you at risk of developing chronic illness. Some signs of sleep deprivation are excessive sleeping, yawning, and irritability. Some extreme sleep deprivation can interfere with balance, coordination, and decision-making abilities. According to Harvard Medical School, studies show that sleeping less than 5 hours a night increases the risk of death from all causes by about 15%. Sleep deprivation is dangerous to your mental and physical health and can dramatically lower your quality of life. Continuing with the concept of getting an illness, from not getting enough sleep, some websites show that not getting enough sleep can cause people to get heart problems and also the chances of getting a stroke. In some cases, people have heart diseases and stroke due to families past. Most studies show that even if your family shows no history of heart diseases or other illnesses, lack of sleep can still cause major health effects in people's and students' lives.
To sum up all that we have talked about here, it's so far been proven multiple times that school needs to change their start times, whether it's because of the health or because of the mental issues. They need to realize that students will do better with delay in start time. It's better for both their grades and their mental and physical health. Schools always say that they put the student's education and health first. But if they really do that, then why not delay the school start times? Even the students believe that school start time is way too early, and they would hope that the school would want to do what is best for them. And I would just like to say thank you all for coming here and listening to our ideas.